if you're frightened of your debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of your economic or political stability of your country, you could have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears. And so I'm a big believer in the utilization of that as an instrument. And so if that becomes true, and you see that it could be a proper hedge against maybe hope securities or equities.
Yeah.
The question is, could you see a 2 or 5% allocation? I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
As we unravel a jaw-dropping prediction by Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. What if I told you that Bitcoin, the digital gold of our era, might soar to an astronomical $700,000? Yes, you heard that right. We'll break down this bold claim, its implications for the global economy, and what it means for everyday investors like you. But what's fueling this prediction? Could institutional adoption truly transform Bitcoin's destiny? Stick with us to uncover the facts, analyze the risks, and explore the future of cryptocurrency. In a world where financial landscapes are constantly evolving, few statements have stirred the pot as much as the recent bold prediction from Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Larry Fink suggested that Bitcoin could reach an astonishing $700,000 per coin. To put this into perspective, Bitcoin, which was trading at over $100,000 at the time of Fink's statement, has experienced significant growth since its inception. Fink's projection is based on the premise that if institutional investors allocate even a small portion, say 2% to 5% of their portfolios into Bitcoin, the demand surge could propel its price to unprecedented heights. This prediction is particularly noteworthy given Fink's previous skepticism towards digital assets. In 2018, he remarked that BlackRock's clients had zero interest in crypto. However, Fink's stance has evolved. He now views Bitcoin as a potential hedge against currency debasement and economic instability, stating, "If you're afraid of the debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of the economic or political stability of your country, you can have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears." Larry Fink's remarks are particularly significant given BlackRock's recent moves in the crypto space. The firm has been actively acquiring Bitcoin and has launched its own Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, which has already amassed over $60 billion in net assets. Fink mentioned conversations with sovereign wealth funds contemplating whether to allocate 2% to 5% of their portfolios to Bitcoin. This growing interest among institutional investors signals a shift towards mainstream acceptance of cryptocurrencies. Fink's prediction has sparked diverse reactions in the financial community. Some experts view it as a validation of Bitcoin's growing legitimacy, while others caution against over-optimism, citing regulatory challenges and market unpredictability. However, it's essential to remember that while Fink is optimistic about Bitcoin's future, he also cautioned about its volatility. He noted that even during bullish markets, Bitcoin has experienced significant price corrections. Investors should be aware that while potential gains are enticing, the risks associated with cryptocurrency investments remain substantial. Fink's bullish outlook on Bitcoin reflects a broader trend among financial leaders. Other CEOs from major banks have also expressed interest in cryptocurrencies as they become more integrated into traditional finance. For instance, Brian Moynihan from Bank of America suggested that if regulatory frameworks support cryptocurrencies, banks will likely adopt them for transactional purposes. Watch the full interview between Larry Fink and Peng Xiao on AI infrastructure and cryptocurrency.
If you allow me to just slightly adjust topic a little bit, you mentioned crypto earlier. I think it's impossible to have a great conversation with Larry while talking about crypto. What you did with your ETF is incredible, truly incredible. And I actually believe crypto is a currency of AI. We spoke about earlier how soon enough all of us will have multiple agents, AI agents working for us. They're going to inform us, they're going to support us, they're going to make transactions on our behalf.
Yeah.
So worldwide, there will be explosion of financial transactions 24/7. The traditional banks, the SWIFT system cannot support that. So crypto will play a bigger and bigger role in the age of AI.
But at the same time, we're going to digitize currencies very rapidly. And we've seen that in India and the great success of leveling in India because of that. And you're seeing the great success in Brazil. So there are two countries that are more advanced in these technology, in blockchain, than Europe and the United States right now. And that's India and Brazil. They had a need because of inflation, because of corruption. They need to digitize their currency. And I do believe this is going to accelerate. And that's going to be the next frontier, using AI, using this. But crypto is going to play a big role. The digitization of currency, digitization of everything we're doing. I'm a big believer, and this is one thing that will change Bloomberg even. I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks.
Coming.
And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and
Absolutely.
stocks.
By the way, that drives more compute need as well.
Yeah, my bosses already expect me to be at least 20% more productive with AI. So it's going to be a fun
only 20%.
Only maybe 25, especially in Davos. Talk to me a little bit about what you're expecting the Trump administration to do for crypto specifically. I mean, these
I think it's already very well articulated. They've fully embraced crypto as a new, not just financial system, reform technology, but a new economic driver. I believe they have a thesis that to extend the dominance of US dollars, they'll be launching very powerful stablecoins to promote broader adoption and usage of US dollars. I think this will be a fundamental strategy for the Trump administration.
So I mean, I look at it from the BlackRock has been built on the entirety of hope. I mean, most of the money that we manage is retirement savings. So you ask yourself, why on earth would anybody invest for a 30-year outcome, or 40-year outcome of retirement, unless they're hopeful that in 30 or 40 years, the world's better. And so the whole foundation of what we have done is a foundation of hope. And we try to promote that concept of hope and get more people to get their money out of a bank account and invest for the long term, right? Okay, and that's what we try to do. As I became a student of crypto, it was very clear to me that crypto is a currency of fear. And that's okay.
To some extent.
Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah. Because if you're frightened of your debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of your economic or political stability of your country, you could have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears. And so I'm a big believer in the utilization of that as an instrument. And so if that becomes true, and you see that it could be a proper hedge against maybe hope security or equities.
Yeah.
The question is, could you see a 2 or 5% allocation? I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
But Larry, does it also?
I'm not promoting that, by the way. So that is not my promotion. Or
Larry, if you allow me, Bitcoin is just one use case of blockchain.
Yes.
Right. Blockchain is a general purpose technology. It's just like AI. So with blockchain, you can have paperless contracts. You have seamless transactions.
Well, that's what you would do in the stocks and bonds.
Exactly, tokenization. And one more thing I'll mention, if you allow me, Larry, is again, the convergence of blockchain and AI. Now, with AI, you can expect within this year, we're going to see deepfake so real You cannot tell the difference. People watching this on live stream, they will not know what's in here.
We're not here.
We're having dinner somewhere else. So to counter that, you need some form of digital watermark. That is actually a cryptographic evidence
That you're
this is
real.
real.
Yeah.
It's my signature, his signature.
Who puts that? The tech companies? By the way, they're so excited at the back. They're trading crypto on the back of Larry's comments.
It's all your fault. No, we control our private key. It's going to be a private public
It'll
key.
be personal.
We'll have control.
It's going to be like your irises, your fingerprints. It'll be a digital.
But it's stored on blockchain,
Yeah, and
witnessed by the global population.
Everybody knows.
Cannot be
who's
faked.
But does this change everything for just capital markets?
It will. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, if we could tokenize bonds and stocks tomorrow, one of the great things that BlackRock is being accused of is how much vote we have. I wouldn't vote anymore because we would be able, through tokenization, to know the owner of record instantaneous,
Yes.
and each owner of record will do their proxy voting. I would love that outcome. No, but it would democratize investing in all ways that we can't imagine.
Even political systems, how you vote in a country, can
Yeah.
be changed by that.
And do you think that, again, the Trump administration will accelerate that?
I think they're moving that direction. How far they actually will go remains to be seen.
But if you do have a digital validator, like your fingerprints or your irises, I mean, you could tokenize voting. You could do
Yep.
everything. And so it will change how we think and how we live and what we do. And
We've been talking to some Southeast Asian governments, including Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. All of them historically have the populations who are treating black market, bitcoins, and what have you. But now the governments are realizing U.S. is driving a global policy shift. So they're now doing something very clever. They're saying, you know what, we're going to issue a new form of digital ID to every single citizen. Along with that is a digital wallet.
which
That's
Brazil,
when people
which
will
Brazil and
actually-
India has already done.
You're both so fired up about this, and you're so excited about it. I'm going to ask you what you worry about in the next 12 months. Is it that something goes wrong with the inflation, or is this that some of this gets into the wrong hands?
Well, let's say cyber risk is ever present, and the amount of money that we're going to all have to make sure we're protecting, and we give a surety, and we give strength around the value of your digital identity. So all of that that's the foundation of any
Right.
order. And so let's be clear: the amount of time and effort and money to author, authenticating everything is real. And so if there is something that breaks down that authentication, then we have a timeout. The biggest risk we have worldwide today is the world believes we are past the high point in inflation, and I could see real realities of elevated inflation. I know that is not the market forces are saying at the moment, but I could truly see a scenario where we are going to have elevated inflation. We would have a higher 10-year treasury, and obviously the bond market. That's why I love the capital market. We're going to find that out. The bond market is the ultimate tester every moment in the market of what's happening globally, and so we'll see. But there is not a low probability. I mean, not below 50%, but there is a probability that we could see elevated inflation again, which would be creating an elevated 10-year treasury, which changes a lot of the conversations.
And this is what, because of an overheating U.S. economy?
That's a possibility, look, I'm here in Europe, and I've never seen such pessimism. So I'm going to leave. I was the one who's normally pessimistic about it, and I'm actually relatively optimistic now because it's so bad. That's what that's. So I would, always go against Davos, and you'll make a lot of money. So. So the pessimism is so tangible about Europe. It almost feels like it's a nice counter trade.
A good entry point. And you're optimistic about that?
I'm very optimistic that the next 4 years will bring a lot of positive changes.
Okay. Well, thank you both for joining us for a good conversation around the world.
As we wrap up, remember this. Bold predictions like Larry Fink's spark conversations that shape the financial future. Whether Bitcoin hits $700,000 or not, one thing is clear. The era of digital assets is here to stay. The question isn't if the world will change, but how prepared you'll be to adapt to it. Let's hear your thoughts. Do you think Larry Fink's $700,000 prediction for Bitcoin is realistic? Drop your comments below and join the discussion. And if you find value in this content, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who want to stay ahead in the financial game. If you're fascinated by the world of finance, technology, and the future of money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're here to keep you informed with the latest insights, bold predictions, and actionable tips in the crypto space.